Hey everybody, my name is Allie and I'm here today to bring you your monthly tarot forecast for March 2018. Now this month I decided to use the Steampunk Tarot. I don't know if I've done a forecast using the Steampunk Tarot, but I'm doing it for the month of March. Now the first card I drew, which is our asset, our anchor, our kind of energy we're bringing in from the past. And the card I drew for March is the Seven of Swords. Now, this card has been one of my recent stalker cards. I feel like there is a message in here that this card is trying to send me, and I feel like it goes beyond any traditional meanings. And recently, just a little kind of side anecdote, there was a question prompted in one of the Facebook groups about what do sevens mean? And I had this light bulb moment. That was the question I needed to prompt me to figure out what is the lesson in this card that I'm not seeing, because often the Seven of Swords in many different decks will describe kind of like sneaky, deceptive, kind of like sneaking off in the dark of night kind of connotations. And we still get that here, but this is our asset, remember. This is something that works well for us. This is something we're doing right, so we need to keep doing. And what I see for the month of March here is breaking free. We're getting away, not necessarily getting away with something, but we're stepping out in our own. We are exerting some independence here. So this might mean, that maybe you've spent a lot of time kind of studying, learning, maybe you've actually taken some formal classes on something, and now this month you have the opportunity to kind of go off on your own and apply everything you've learned to the real world. It's kind of like a test to see, can you do it? You're kind of breaking free, breaking away from that safety net of, a partner or a mentor. You're claiming your independence, you're going off on your own, and that's something that we are encouraged to do, that we are, this is an asset. Remember, this is something that works for us this month. So the other thing I noticed about this card in particular is up in the corner, you see this kind of pyramid, this Illuminati all-seeing eye kind of watching over the figure that's walking away with her seven swords. And so this prompts the question, who's watching us and why are they watching us? I feel like this speaks to having fears of either getting caught or fears of being judged, like everybody's watching and waiting for me to screw up. So if you're kind of feeling like I might get caught, really question your motives and your ethics here. Is this something you should be doing? The other thing I want to mention this month is I want to emphasize this, okay? Because it's really important to have a plan. Have a plan, because sevens are all about acquiring knowledge, seeking knowledge, questing for knowledge, and then applying that knowledge. And with the swords, so we have that thought, that memory, and exercising those. So incorporating that into our plan. So if you think about the thief, if we go along with that traditional sort of sneaky thief metaphor or archetype, a good thief will have a good plan and studies, scopes the area, knows who will be where at what time, knows where the obstacles are so that they can plan ahead to overcome those obstacles. So this is really, I feel like having a plan is essential. That is a great asset to have in the month of March. Use the knowledge that you've already accumulated, seek out more knowledge if necessary, and then have a plan that you can follow so that you can go out on your own and be free and liberated from whatever it was that you're walking away from, whether that's a job, a relationship, some kind of partnership. It could be anything. It could just be, again, leaving the safety of the classroom and now going off into the real world. Now, if you're feeling like everyone's watching and waiting for you to screw up and you have those kind of fears going on in your head, that brings me to the next card. This is our obstacle for the month. This is our challenge. This is things that will be getting in our way, things that will be slowing us down or posing challenges for us for the month of March. And I have the 9 of Swords here. So you can see this figure lying in her bed. We've got all these swords kind of looming over, almost like ready to attack. So this is a card that speaks to fear and anxiety and worry. She's kind of holding her head like she's had a nightmare, or there's something going on playing inside her head. And yeah, fears, I feel like this is a month to face fears. That you've got to confront those fears. You've got to address, where do they come from? Are they founded? Are they based, do they have any basis for reality? Or is it just like, people will judge me, I might screw up. They might judge you and you might screw up, but why should you let that stop you? Right? If you're not happy, break free, walk away, exert your independence, try. You've got to try if you want any chance at success, right? Now, the other thing I'm picking up this month that may apply to a certain number of people is some health. We have this person in bed, they're holding their head. Maybe it's not so much fear and anxiety, but just like headaches, or maybe it's that fear and anxiety manifesting itself physically. So if you are someone who, has headaches, chronic headaches, or shoulder pain, back pain, stomach pain, that kind of thing, this isn't something you can't overcome. Like when I say there's health issues, it's not anything to be concerned about, or anything that you can't overcome. And I feel like for many of you, it could be rooted in that fear and anxiety. So if you can address that, you can change the physical symptoms. But if not, it could just simply be some minor health issues that maybe you're going to get the flu this month. I feel like it's very minor and it will be overcome, but it might slow you down. It might get in the way this month. It might pose a little bit of an obstacle and just slow things down. That's all. The last card I pulled for the month of March, this is our action, our advice, things that we are being encouraged and cheered on to do. I got the Devil reverse. Now, I've had this streak recently. You may have noticed if you follow my videos or my Facebook page of a little bit of gloomy cards recently. I don't know where that's coming from. I feel like, if you're taking the traditional meanings, these do kind of fall into that category of a little bit of gloomy themed cards. However, I just want to emphasize that this month, March, I feel very optimistic. The theme this month is breaking free. And if the biggest thing standing in our way this month is just negative self-talk and creating fear and anxiety and worry and thinking worst case scenario, because worst case scenario rarely ever manifests. It's usually somewhere between best case and worst case, right? So stop convincing yourself that it's always going to be worst case, because that very rarely actually happens. So back to the Devil. Okay, what do I want to say about this? Yes, breaking free. The Devil reverse is all about breaking free, which is, again, our asset. So I feel like this is Spirit just rooting us on, encouraging us to go forward. And I want to just flip this card around just to show you the detail of what is in this image. So you see this kind of machine, this monstrous, big, scary machine, and he's got puppet strings. So the human figures at the bottom are attached to puppet strings, and you have the monster doing all the controlling. And what these figures are doing, you have one kind of keeping it maintained with his big wrench there, so maintaining the big scary monster, and the other one is fueling coal into the fire, which is powering, again, the big scary monster, the thing that's controlling. So there's this vicious cycle happening here. This is about enabling the thing that has power over you. So you gotta cut those puppet strings, because if you stop fueling the monster, whatever that monster is, however that is manifesting in your life, whether it's a person who, maybe makes you feel guilty, so you step back and you comply instead of following your own path or your own dreams or your own happiness, you're you're sacrificing for that other person's needs all the time, whether it's a job and you're just you're feeding the fire because it gives you that sense of security, but you're again sacrificing your own happiness. Or maybe it's just a belief that you have that's holding you back, and you keep telling yourself that you can't do it because X fear is going to manifest, and then everything will go wrong. And you keep convincing yourself worst case scenarios, some belief you have that's getting in the way, and you keep enabling that to keep working against you. So cut the puppet strings, cut the strings, and break free. Just put the tools down and walk away, and then the monster can't control you anymore, right? So when the card shows up reversed, like it did this month, it's all about telling you gotta cut the strings, you gotta walk away, you gotta break free, and the best way to do it is have a good, solid plan. Make sure you have all the information you need, you got all the resources that you need, you can predict to the best of your knowledge what may or may not happen and how to overcome it if it does. And here we have, this figure in bed. They're taking care of themselves. They are resting. They're not going to feel guilty if they get ill or sick or things slow them down. They're taking the time out, and taking the time out not just for health reasons, but mental health reasons as well. Really bring those fears forward and truly confront them and say, where are these coming from? Are they founded? Are they realistic? Or is it all in my head? Now, as usual, I have pulled one card from the Good Tarot as an affirmation to support us for the month of March. And this month I have drawn, appropriately once again, the Four of Air, which is so awesome. The Four of Air is all about self-care, taking a break. So breaking free, stepping back, evaluating, thinking about our needs, putting our happiness and our health first, making that a priority. So let me read from the book, because it's a short one and it's just so perfect. So here we go. It's time to rest my mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness or boredom. The mind needs quiet to think and find clarity. If I allow my mind to rest, I will have greater clarity and my mind will be sharper. This is the time for a break. I need to take care of myself. So perfect. So there you go. I'm not going to say any more. I think I've summarized everything. And that is your monthly tarot forecast for March. So go off and empower yourself, you guys. Face the fear. And I feel really good that by the end of the month, you'll be so proud of yourself. You're like, yeah, it was scary, but I did it and I came out on top. So best of luck to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're watching this on YouTube. And until next time, stay shiny and keep sparkling.